were seeming a little bit too tense in the first two games.
Let's see if they fix their drafting mistakes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 4. This is the draft here as RSG Philippines will go to that second pick. RRQ opted to take that first pick for themselves. You can see already instantly the respect for Franco and Xavier from RSG.
Yeah, RSG recognizing they are on second pick and they cannot afford to give that Franco away to Vin again because it's been game defining for them in this previous games. Now RSGPH, yes, we talked a lot about RQ having to basically be serious about this draft, right? Not go for something so out of this world, but on the side of RSG, they also have to realize that was RRQ trying out something new, so they cannot rest on their laurels.
Oh, seems like RGPH, they are opting to choose to ban Albert's Link instead. That means the Akai and Beatrix is going to be slid off, whereas the Valentina going to be completely ignored. That means RQ, they will secure the Akai out for Albert instead.
Beatrix. I think RSG Philippines are going to pick up the Beatrix and the Esmeralda here for themselves. It has worked out before. Sure, in the first game, we didn't really see that Esmeralda from Nats pop off, but I feel like it was an off game for him. It was kind of a warm-up game, but they still don't go for it. They actually opt to go for the Julian here, which is, in my opinion, the better pick now that I'm thinking about it. Can be flexed and more priority there in the jungle, even in the mid lane. So much capabilities. What do you think RRQ are going to respond with?
Well, I like the Julian pick also, like you mentioned, right? Because the EXP lane can be flexed a lot. They don't just have to go into the Esmeralda. But now, RQ with an Akai, that sets up a lot for them. And at the same time, even though the Julian doesn't reveal a lot, so does the Akai. You don't know where this can potentially go, whether it's in the jungle or in the EXP. RRQ though, this time the Claude has worked out for them and surprisingly, they're gonna go ahead and pick it up in the first phase.
Yeah, I like the Eve pickup and Claude as well. We've seen how Skylar has such a menacing marksman. They don't want to afford to throw it. So this is something that they are adapting. But I was a little bit surprised. I was expecting maybe they would have gone for the Valentina again, considering that now they have a beefier frontliner as a jungler. But RQ, yep, they want to flex it up a little bit more. We do see Akai being played as a roamer coming from RQ. I think Vin, there was one particular game where Vin was playing the roaming Akai against Evo's SG during the playoffs. So yeah, I guess if you put it that way, sure.
And right now, if we take a look at it, RSG Philippines, they're actually opting to go to the band towards R7, right? Limiting his hero pool, and I feel like the Dairoth might be next here, considering that, again, they lost that first game because Dairoth, which is such a menace in these team fights, with that pick potential, the Abyssum Strike actually just zoning these members away as well. But I might be wrong. They might just go for a ban towards their, oh yeah, it's the Dairoth. So, as expected, RRQ though, they're starting to target Light here.
And I think that's smart because Light so far, he hasn't played too many heroes so far in this MSC.
Yes.
Not to say that his hero pool is not big enough, but I think he shows that he's more comfortable on these picks. The Franco, the Angela, I think the only thing that he has probably played so far is maybe the Chol, the Atlas, and the Kufra. So these are also bans that RRQ can potentially look to pick up here.
I really like this good read coming from RQ, especially from Angela, right? If you want to base off stats coming from SEA Games as well, which is the same patch as now, we have seen popularity coming from towards Angela, Ling, Angela, Esmeralda. So I think RQ wants to take it out of the equation as of yet. But as of yet, I feel like the Kufra pickup coming from RGPH is not that bad as well as a way to actually shut down the Claude.
I actually love it. Not just because it can shut down the Claude, but it actually shuts down RQ's opportunity to pick up the Cho. It's going to be really tough if you pick up a Cho up against this Kufra here, and I think that's what they were going for here with R7 not getting any heroes left up for grabs.
Here's a little bit fun fact, right? Before Akai was reworked, Tyrant's Revenge can actually cancel the Hurricane Dance. After the rework, uncancelable, but recent patch, they had a slight tweak there. It is now cancelable with the Tyrant's Revenge now with this Akai Heavy Spin. So it's a little bit of a plot twist, but I like the adaptations coming from RGPH.
That's a great counter then. I mean, to the side of RRQ, they're going to go ahead to pick up the Ruby as well as the Thamus. So huge team fight opportunities here. This is really scary.
I like it from both of these drafts, honestly. From both of these teams, they've opted to go for the safer, more meta draft this time around. I really like that Ruby pick and that Sicilian as well to wrap it up from RSG. This time, I feel like it's going to be an even draft. Win condition-wise, it's all going to come down to the execution of both of these teams here in the Land of Dawn.
Yep, this is definitely a more refined drafts coming from both teams. Both have clear win conditions, pretty 50-50, but it all comes down to execution. This is the upper bracket finals we're talking about, and RRQ is on match point, going for the Archive pickup with one of the highest win rate thus far here in MSC. Can they look to secure? Likewise can be said for RSGPH on that Beatrix pickup.
The pride of the biggest MLBB nations, ladies and gentlemen. My tech, it's time for game number 4. We go straight into the Land of Dawn as we will see these titans collide once more.
RSG Philippines and RRQ. RSG Philippines going to be on the red side here, while RRQ playing on the blue side. What do you think of these two compositions? We said it's going to be even down to the execution, but really for the side of RRQ, they have to be able to abuse some of these advantages in the late game on R7, for example.
Yeah, it feels like a very difficult situation for R7, but it feels like Nats versus R7. So far, Thamus has been able to win the 1v1s, but at the same time, when it comes to lane clear and lane cutting, Nats and the Esmeralda is going to have a little bit of upper edge in that regards. But now, my biggest question right now would be whether or not are we going to see aggressive plays from Iman. So far, all the games coming from him on the marksman has been very defensive. This time with the Beatrix, he has more utilities and more kills to work with, and hopefully that is going to be the case. But as of yet, Light looking to put his guard, he gets the cancel.
Skylar has to burn that flicker to come
Huge.
out. And this is lane advantages, right? RSGPH knows that Skylar is going to be weaker in the early part of the game and immediately just gank and try to make full use of this opportunity. RSG, they play around Iman as well. So helping Iman to scale is really, really going to help them.
It's going to be good for them, right? Because again, they know that the bottom side will mostly be R7 going at it. Albert, though, he's looking for some pressure in that mid lane, trying to just open up space for Clay to bully Aqua in lane, who is on the Sicilian, relatively weaker, but R7 needs to be careful. Demon Kite rotating to that bottom side, putting some pressure on, as Aqua will help to clear out the waves here to set up for the first turtle of the game. Demon Kite will have the better position as of right now, but RRQ do not want to give this away for free.
Yeah, they have to play this a little bit safe, but as of yet, there's just so much annoyance coming from RQ. Albert has got the heavy spin, and I don't think Demon Khan wants to contest this. He is going to try and jeopardize with the Retribution fight, but it looks like he is going to get caught out a little bit more. Albert still holding on to the heavy spin, finally uses it, but no, he mistimed his Retribution, and that's going to be Demon Khan coming up on top.
Yeah, and now Nas in the backline manages to get Albert, but here is the real world manipulation to zone everyone out. They're trying to go for Demon Kite now, though R7 diving really deep, manages to pick up the kill here, and a second one onto Light as well. So they have this advantage in
R7?
their hands.
What?
R7, how is he doing this still? Putting on so much pressure onto Aqua.
I feel like RSG are kind of ignoring R7 in these team fights, right? Like, they were just too tunnel vision on Clay, on Albert. Sure, they got the kill, they got the turtle, but they need to be careful because if this continues, R7 can find a lot of these cheeky picks on this Thamus as Nats just goes in for a little bit more poke. Both of these XP lanes will reset as Nats has a little bit of an XP advantage here.
That was really, really disgusting of R7, right? He's level 4, he's got 2 stacks of the Festival of Blood, and look at the amount of sustains he's got throughout that fight. And because of that, he was able to utilize that sustains to actually punish RSGPH. So a little bit of mistakes has been made, but all in all, the turtle was still in the hands of RGPH. So it's not the end of the world yet. Economy-wise, it's still favoring RGPH as we know.
Absolutely. You know, objectives still, I believe, more important than kills here, as RRQ will look to try to equalize this, but they're going to have to move Skylar back and forth. Mid-gold, just try to funnel as much gold as possible because of that early gank that RG put onto that top side. He is kind of behind right now when you compare it to Iman. So he's going to be able to equalize that a little bit by roaming back and forth mid and top.
I think RSG is also trying to mirror that. You can see them rotating together as a team. And right now, in the middle lane mid, they get the line offended here. And it's going to be Iman falling down to the heavy spin. So much CC coming from the side of RRQ.
Yeah, very good read as well. As Vin, he was able to enable Albert to look for that heavy spin to pick that fight. Now, with the man advantage, they want to try to convert it over onto an objective. Demon Kite, though, he is right there. I think he has a better chaining ability with that Retribution here. Let's see, Sanguine Claws, pop, Turtle, reset it, and Iman is back here again. RRQ will still try to take this Turtle, but honestly, with Iman here, I feel like RSG has the better team fight. Let's see how it goes as both teams will try it right now.
Yeah, they're trying to get it here. The objective does still go to Demon Kaido, and immediately Elbow pulls the trigger onto the heavy spin, but he gets taken down in the backline. Clay gets fallen. Skylar has to flicker out as well. He didn't have the ultimate in time for this objective, but R7 now 1v3 gets taken down by Iman, pays the price for it, and RSG comes out on top.
That was a pretty sick play from Light right there. Instead of
Huge.
using the Tyrant's Revenge to actually cancel off the heavy spin, he opted to focus to go for the big Tyrant's Revenge. And because of that, it completely swung into his RSGP's favor. And with that play, they are able to transition even more map control for the top side. With 80 seconds in next objective, RGPH is just in so much comfort right now because of all this map control.
It's so huge, massive for RSG because again, this is their keys to victory. Getting that pressure in the early game, snowballing, and obviously using that death ball strategy, they're just able to control the map so well, convert on these little wins on the map, and they transition it over to just turrets, objectives here and there. Skylar up top looking for the play onto Nat. I don't think they're going to be able to melt him down right now, and they look for the trade. That's just not possible. They go up top looking for that turret. RSG pick up a turret down below, and it's not traded, not responded to by anything here, as Clay will most probably be forced out of this mid lane, but because of Vin popping that conceal, RSG decided to respect it. Discipline still matters here, only a 2,000 gold lead for RSG.
Oh my goodness, RRQ, they've got to be banging their head because on the top side, Naps looks like he was out of position, but considering how RSGPH was positioning himself in down mid, RRQ Hoshi opted to just back out and say, hey, you know what, we might lose a little bit too much if we focus on that, and because of that, Nat is able to consistently pressure the top lane, and this is not helping RRQ at all. Considering that 10 seconds left, the turtle is going to be up for grabs, and RRQ is looking for some sort of opportunity, and it's just so very difficult because RGPH is just winning on all the lanings as of yet.
Yeah, but they are in a complete reset now as RQ Hoshi, their ultimates are up as well, so they are able to make the big plays if they wanted to. This is something that RSGPH knows, and that's why they're being really tentative around this turtle right now. R7 and Nas just battling it out in the mid lane here. R7 getting zoned out by Nas from all that damage. RSG gonna go ahead and start the turtle here. Vin forced to back row, manipulation comes out, but Light goes in with the Tyrant's Rage and knocks Vin up. He's in trouble, doesn't get out. Aqua secures the kill, and now Light, RSG, they are on the hunt, trying to find more kills. Doesn't manage to, but look at Nas just abusing that, going all the way in, countering the shield, and it is going to be able to put him in a coffin.
Nats, oh my god, the calculation on that damage is unreal. Even with Albert to help R7, he still went for it knowing that the heavy spin was ready, and that's where Nats just pops off. These crazy dives. RQ did a good trade. They were able to take the turtle, but again, RSG Philippines capitalized on that by taking kills.
I want to take a moment to tell you that RGPH, it was just very smart of Demon Kite to hold on the enhanced chain to cancel off the heavy spin, because that was a big turning point coming from him. If he did not cancel off the heavy spin, things would have been disastrous for RGPH. So props towards Demon Kite for that play over the previous fight. But as of yet, they are going to continue the lead to try and snowball even more map control away from RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, players go right now. We can see the two carries just top of the charts. I think it was Skylar for a second there before Iman got on top. And you can see they're just battling it out to be able to scale faster than the others. Skylar picked up the golden staff, but Iman, you saw that Renner shot, took out half his HP in just one hit. So RQ Hoshi needs to be careful about their positioning here as they look around the objective or taking fights.
Looking at the compositions for both of the teams now, we need to talk about that damage dealt, right? Because look, Albert, Skylar and, well, Albert, Skylar, and Clay, actually. Skylar and Clay, these are the two main damage dealers from RRQ. Skylar is so low down below, you know, he's almost dealing as much damage as just Finn, and that's not good. Sure, he needs to scale, sure, he needs to wait for the items, but at what point do you need him to start just going and pop off with the Blazing Duet? Because right now, RSG Philippines, they're not going to stop. 3,000 gold lead, and it keeps on building.
no.
R7, oh my goodness, almost just gets bursted down there by Iman and Aqua.
That was such a scary moment, but seems like RRQ, they have to force the issue as well. RSGPH, they know that R7 is out of the equation. This is the perfect time to force an issue, and it seems like that's going to be the case. Nats, as of yet, going to be focused down, and the only one that can stop him is pretty much Albert on the heavy spin, but he's still holding on for the moment as of yet.
Yeah, it's going to be Albert jumping in with a heavy spin now, locking Nats in place. The real world inflation is there as well. They're looking for the flip. Demon Kite and Light there in the bush, looking for the engage once again. Albert still there, going to be able to come in, but Demon Kite with the retribution secures it. R7 jumping to the back line, dealing so much, taking Demon Kite out, and Light falls as well. RSG, they take the Lord, but they lose 3.
Oh my goodness, that was perfect timing coming from RRQ Hoshi. The only one that can stop Nats from going out of control with building those shields was pretty much the heavy speed. And in the midst of that confusion, RGPH was focusing in a lot. They took the advantage, shut down Nats, and then transitioned for more. And that was a good opportunity coming from RRQ Hoshi. However, the Lord still in the favor of RGPH. That means the score, the economy-wise, is now equalized because of that small fight against.
Cannot afford to tunnel vision. Yeah, sure, they want to take the objectives, but you cannot risk 3 members losing their life at this point. We're going to take a look at the items here.
Yeah, the Ice Queen won. This is what we mentioned in game number 2, when RRQ were able to just control the tempo of the game, again, with the utility. And this is what's starting to come out again from this Yi, from Clay, the utility build. Now, Iman might find himself in trouble. Nat's going in, Skylar juking it out, looking for the outplay here as he just goes in for one more basic attack. He goes in onto the next minion. He really doesn't care about Nats here. He's ignoring him, just going for the farm, but they're going on a 1v1 here. Skylar versus Nats, still forced to run away. Nats looking for something. That top side turret will fall. RRQ, again, still on the back foot, still with the defense. RSG with the proactive